SoberMindLamps.com.
And so let us be peculiar. God has called us out to be different from the world, unlike the rest of humankind. We are to be special, unique, rare, and precious. We cannot do that by being like the world, following and serving the flesh. We must follow the Spirit's lead and walk the narrow path. And before I read the next verse, we have to understand that the desire to be accepted is strong because God has made us to be social creatures and to have unity and concert with one another, you know, and the devil knows that. So he knows that peer pressure and the need to be accepted is very difficult on us, right? And that's where our love for God has to be so magnified that we're willing to forego that just to be with God. Not that he doesn't want us to have unity. He wants to have unity in the body of Christ, you know, but that's what the devil is. So like we can't be separate if we're trying to be the same, right? And like, you know, I'm going to go a little rant. It's like trying to say men and women are equal. They're not equal. They can never be equal because men are men and women are women. It's impossible. They weren't made equal. Men aren't better than women. Women aren't better than men. They're different. It's like you're saying a cat and a dog's equal. No, they're not. Right? It's lunacy, right? And so what we have to understand is we are different from the world. We can't be like them, think like them, act like them, try to make them like us. They should be like, you know, St. Patrick. Kings feared the prayers of St. Patrick. If St. Patrick prayed, the kings would tremble at it. That's right. Right, because St. Patrick didn't care. He's like, I'm going to make God happy. I'm going to spread the gospel. I'm going to do these things, right? But here we are at the end of time, supposed to be the salt and light on the earth, asking the world permission to tell them about God and Jesus. That's ridiculous, right? And there's no more shame in the culture because there's no more light in the culture because Christianity won't stand up and go, no, that's wrong. This is how we do things, you know? And now we're just like, oh, it's love. Just accept everybody in love. Yeah, as they go burn in hell. Yeah, it's really loving of you. Anyway, so we have to be different. Deuteronomy 26:17 through 19. You have declared today that Yahweh is your God and that you would walk, this is what we're talking about, in his ways and keep his statutes and his commandments and his ordinances and listen to his voice. Yahweh has declared today that you are a people for his own possession. So who do you belong to? Do you belong to the world? Do you belong to your social groups? No, you belong to God. He bought you, purchased you. You've been bought with a price, right? You're his. Okay. And as he has promised you that you should keep all his commandments. So if you're his, he's telling you, okay, you're a hammer now, you're going to hammer. That's basically what this is. I bought you. You're my possession. You will now keep commandments. You will obey me. Easy enough, you think, but you know. 19, he will make you high above all the nations that he has made in praise, in name, and in honor, that you may be a holy people to Yahweh your God, as he has spoken. So you're his possession. You're called to obey him, and you're meant to be holy. Okay, now if the world's not belonging to God, but to the God of this world, Satan, not keeping the commandments and not trying to be holy, how can you be friends with that? You can't. Now, we can be in the world, but not of the world and try to shed a light into the world, but we can't say like, I'm going to do this now because that's what everybody else is doing and expect God just to forgive you when he's like, no, you need to come out. Okay, Exodus 19:5 through 6. Now, therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you should be my possession. So how do you become God's possession? We just learned about this. It said, obey my voice and keep my covenant, keep his commandments, be holy, right? It said, then you shall be my own possession from among all the people, for the earth is mine, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. These are the words which you would speak to the children of Israel, right? So what's the contract? You will be mine if you obey my voice and keep my covenant. We learned what that was. That was to be holy and to keep the commandments. Okay, easy enough. Top of page 4. Right? And so if you're not doing these things, then you're like the world. Okay? Next verse. 1 Peter 2:9 through 10. But you're a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for God's own possession, that you may proclaim the excellence of him who called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light, who in times past were no people, but now are God's people who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy, right? Again, a royal priesthood. Now we have more layers here. Titus 2:14, who gave himself for us that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify for himself a people for his own possession, zealous for what? Good works, right? Like this whole work thing, you know, like we don't have to do anything. We're saved by his love. God, love is enough. Love won. Okay, that's God loving you. Are you ever going to get around to loving him back? I mean, huh? Two-way street here.
If you feel so led of the Lord and want to know how to donate to this ministry outreach,
please visit boyrants.com and scroll down the bottom of the name page for a PayPal link. Thank you, because Boys and Words upon you on boyrants.com.